He walked out on our kids like they were nothing then, blamed me when his family turned on him. My ex-husband told me he didn't want to be a dad anymore. No shared custody, no holidays, no birthdays, just gone. I didn't fight him. A roller coaster, to say the least. A crash course in closure, disappointment, and learning how to become my own damn anchor. Raising 2 kids on my own, and somehow being called a villain for it, I would have laughed in your face. But when his mother found out what he really said, it flipped our world upside down. And suddenly, I became the villain who ruined his life. My name is Emma. I'm 45 years old, and I live in a suburb outside of Richmond, Virginia. My life for the past year has been, and if you'd told me a year ago that I'd be divorced, but here we are. Let me rewind a bit. I'd had complications, and we didn't think we could have another child. Liam came along 5 years ago, and we were overjoyed. Exactly what you'd expect. Courthouse vows, trembling hands, and no clue what we were doing. I met Jason when I was 15. We were high school sweethearts, raised in strict religious homes where you break it, you buy it applied to everything including teen relationships. I got pregnant. Our parents freaked. The churches got involved. And before I'd even figured out how to drive stick, I was married and expecting a baby. The shotgun wedding was... Fast forward nearly 30 years, 2 kids, a mortgage, and a marriage held together by duct tape and shared history. We had Olivia 12 years ago, my firecracker. Smart, observant, way too clever for her age. Then came Liam, a miracle in every sense. Jason changed. He'd always been emotionally distant, but after Liam's birth, it got worse. He stayed late at work more, stopped helping around the house, missed doctor's appointments. When Olivia asked why Daddy never read bedtime stories anymore, I told her he was just very busy. The truth, he was checked out. I gave it 5 years, or 5 years of second chances, marriage counseling, solo parenting, and feeling more like Jason's roommate than his wife. Are you saying it's no visitation, no shared custody? So when I finally filed for divorce, I did it with no anger left in me, just exhaustion. I needed peace. To my surprise, Jason didn't fight it. He didn't cry, didn't even flinch. He just nodded and said, "Okay, if that's what you want." We met with a lawyer to split assets. Everything was smooth. No raised voices, no power struggles, until we got to custody. The lawyer asked, standard 50-50th split on custody. Jason leaned back and shrugged like he was deciding between paper or plastic. "Actually, I don't want custody." I blinked. "What?" "I'm not interested in doing the parenting thing anymore." I said, "Daddy's going through a lot right now. He's not ready to be a full-time parent, but he still loves you." My heart broke. You could hear a pin drop. Loaded. "I'm sorry," the lawyer said, confused. She asked if I could come by to talk privately. "Yeah, I'm out. I'll sign whatever. She can have full custody." I sat there in complete disbelief. "You're giving up your kids?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. "You always handled everything anyway," I asked. "What should I tell them?" Jason shrugged again. "Whatever you want, I don't care." Just like that. He walked, told the kids gently. "I didn't say Daddy doesn't want you." Olivia didn't say much, just nodded. Liam asked if Jason was mad at him. About a month after the paperwork was finalized, I got a call from Jason's mom, Diana. "Well, what about birthdays or holidays? Your mom and brother might want to see them." She'd always been sweet, if a little dramatic. When I got to her house, she greeted me with a hug that felt. We sat at her kitchen table. It's the same one Jason and I used to do high school homework on. Then she said, "Emma, why won't you let Jason see the kids?" I blinked. "What?" "He's devastated. Said you took full custody and told him he wasn't allowed to see them. He's been crying for days." I literally dropped my fork. "Diana, that is not what happened," he said. "You cut him off completely." "That you manipulated the lawyer. Okay. Hold on." I pulled out my phone. "I'm calling him right now." Then silence. He answered on the second ring. "Hey," I said calmly. "Liam's got a soccer game this Saturday. Want to come? He'd love to see you." "I already told you I'm not doing this anymore." I stayed calm. But still, the word alone scared me. When I got there, the teacher met me in the hallway with that tight smile that said, "Brace yourself. My family already thinks the kids aren't mine anyway, so who cares?" I glanced at Diana. Her face went pale. "What about your mom?" She adores them. His nose was red from crying. She loves me more. She'll get over it. Tyler said my dad left because I was bad, that he heard his brother say it. I ended the call. Diana just stared at me, nodded, then said softly, "I need a moment." She walked me to the door. "Thanks for coming," she said coldly. That night, Jason called again, screaming, of defending, of tiptoeing around the lies Jason was planting. And now I'm standing here, putting out the flames with a garden hose. You told her everything. She kicked me out. She cut me off financially. Yet you ruined my life. Then came the insults. Absolutely. Here's the full continuation of part 2 and part 3. Now expanded to complete the 15,000-word target for your Reddit-style story with enhanced storytelling, more dialogue, emotional depth, and character progression. Emails, voicemails. I even printed screenshots of Jason S.'s weird Facebook posts where he painted himself as a tragic hero abandoned by his cold ex-wife. I had no idea what you were dealing with. A few days after Diana gave me her will, I got a call from the elementary school. Liam had gotten into a fight. Well, fight might be a stretch. It was more like a shoving match on the playground. They want to believe the absent father is secretly broken. The ex-wife was just vengeful. The kids were turned against him. It's neater, cleaner, easier to digest. Liam pushed a boy after he said something about his dad, she told me. My stomach twisted. When I finally sat down with Liam in the guidance counselor's office, he looked so small. His little fists were clenched. I knelt in front of him. "Baby, talk to me. What happened?" He sniffled. I closed my eyes, breathed, but it wasn't enough. "And that's not your fault, or mine. You're not bad. Do you hear me? Not even a little?" He nodded, but I could tell he didn't fully believe it yet. I sat there for 20 minutes, just holding him. That night I called Carly. "I want to go scorched earth," I told her. She chuckled. "And I would support that, but are you okay?" I wasn't. I was tired of explaining. When she came to pick them up, she gave me a long hug. It's like he lit the match and then ran. She was quiet for a second, then said, "Greater than you're not putting out the flames. You're building a fire break. You're protecting your kids." And I needed to hear that. Over the next few weeks, I became obsessed with documenting everything. I saved texts. One day a mutual friend messaged me out of the blue. "Greater than Emma, I'm so sorry. Jason told me all this stuff and I believed him. God. But now I see. I didn't even reply. I just stared at the message, because that was the thing. People love a redemption story, but real life is messy. And sometimes the villain isn't the one shouting. It's the one who walked away without a sound." Olivia and I sat on the porch one evening watching the fireflies at the ice cream shop, and his face would fall for just a second. She was quiet, not sad, just thoughtful. "Can I ask you something?" She said, "Always. I built Lego castles. I watched Ninjago until I could hum the theme song in my sleep. Do you think Dad ever cared, like really cared about us?" I wanted to say yes. I wanted to protect her. But I was done with lies. "I think he cared the way he knew how to," I said gently. She nodded. "I don't want to keep wondering about him. Another friend mentioned he's dating a woman with no kids. A clean slate. You don't have to." Later that summer, Diana invited the kids to stay with her for a week. They were over the moon. I packed their bags with snacks and matching pajamas. "You're doing an incredible job," she whispered. "I'm trying. You're succeeding. This is peace." Diana made it from scratch. Even molded the frosting into little T-Rex claws. Wrote an essay about courageous women and listed me, her grandma, and her science teacher. On the third day of their visit, Diana called me. Olivia asked me if she could write a letter to Jason. She said she doesn't want to send it. Just write it. I think that's okay. That night, Diana texted me a picture of Olivia's folded letter closed with a sticker of a fox. She'd written, "Greater than dear Dad, I'm okay. I just wanted you to know I'm not angry. I'm just done. Love, Olivia." I cried in the kitchen for 20 minutes straight. Liam, on the other hand, didn't talk about Jason much at all. But sometimes, I'd catch him watching other kids with their dads. At the playground, it killed me. So I started doing more. I learned how to kick a soccer ball. One night when I tucked him in, he said, "Greater than I think you're better than two parents." I laughed. That's because I've got the best helper. He beamed. Jason, for what it's worth, faded out of everyone's lives. The last I heard, he moved to Atlanta to start fresh. Someone said he's working in sales again. Good for him. Hope he figures himself out. But we're not waiting around anymore. Olivia started 8th grade last week. She ran for student council. Liam turned 6 and asked for a dinosaur cake. We danced in the kitchen that night. And I realized, not perfection, not what I pictured when I first got married. It's but real, quiet, honest, steady. We made something beautiful from the pieces Jason left behind. And that's enough. Because when someone chooses to walk away from their children, we don't chase. We build. We show up. We stay.